Karibuni sana to episode 10 of our live podcast, and I am your host Wilma, and this is the show that we bring you exciting and informative content. Like myself and many other women who are on a mission, journeying through the ups and downs of life, I came across the term entrepreneurship. And I'm so excited to have the alpha stroke serial entrepreneur herself on set. And she's such a force to reckon with in the women in business space, and you'll be getting to know her shortly. But before that, if you are new here, hello, and don't forget to follow me at the Alive podcast on YouTube, Anchor, Spotify, Boomplay, Google Podcast, and Radio Public. So don't forget also to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Of course, I want to hear what you guys are thinking about the show. And of course, kama kawaida, I'll have a pro tip for you at the end of the show. So my special guest, I'd like you to introduce yourself, tell us what you do and what the world does not know about you. Karibu.
Thank you so much, Wilma, for having me today. First and foremost, I would like to thank the Almighty for bringing us here today for this special occasion. I'm so glad to be one of the people who have been given the privilege to speak in one of your live podcasts. Thank you. So for those who don't know me, my name is Sabrina Ejore. I'm the CEO and founder of Precious Connections Limited. And it's a company that provides business solutions for both products and services. And we are headquartered here in Nairobi, Kenya. I have a background in business management and leadership, PR major. And I'm also a specialist in strategic planning, business, enterprise development, projects, and business coaching. I have over 10 years industry in business consultancy services and professional business training services. My entrepreneurial skills provides my clients with unique advantages. So, like I've helped professional services company develop new departments that begin billing around 240,000 USD in services within 3 years with just 3 staff members. I've also helped several companies increase sales in additional of 70,000 US dollars within 6 months by bridging the company's products and services into a complementary market.
Amazing.
Thank you. My enthusiasm and experience for business has set me in several boardrooms where I serve as an advisory board member of Strathmore University Coaching and Mentorship Program under the Kenya Small Business Development Centers as the youngest board advisor representing the youth and gender. I also sit at the Business Enterprise Development and Women in Business Board Committee as the coach/mentor of KNCCI Nairobi chapter. I support and empower a lot of SMEs and MSMEs by coaching and mentorship on how to make profitable businesses under our company, Precious Connections Limited. We initiated a program called the QLP program. It's abbreviated as QLP, but it's the Quantum Leap program, which was in partnership with Absa Bank and KNCCI.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Thank you.
That's so... Guys, I told you she's a serial alpha entrepreneur. And I remember the first time we met Sabrina, we were at a co-working space.
Yes, and you actually attended my programs.
Yeah, and I attended your
QLP
programs. And
yeah,
I love
definitely.
them, guys. You guys should go check her out.
Thank you.
She also has her videos up on YouTube, very brief and precise and educative stuff about business.
Yeah.
And as you've heard, she loves to deal with people, especially in the SME sector, right?
Yes.
So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about entrepreneurship, how your journey has been as an entrepreneur.
Personally, I like identifying myself as someone who's very passionate about business. And I've actually never been employed before, and I've always, you actually look surprised.
I am.
My entrepreneurship journey, I believe entrepreneurship is something it's not everyone's cup of tea, and it takes talent to become an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And making money is also talent.
It is.
Not everyone is good at it. Exactly. It's like playing basketball and playing football and dancing and singing. So making money is also a talent, which I'm very good at, I believe. Thank you. And looking at how I started my entrepreneurship journey, I realized I was an entrepreneur later during my early 20s. And I've always been an entrepreneur all my life because I grew up in a broken family. My mother is a single mother. I'm the eldest child of 4 children, and I've also happened to be the eldest granddaughter in my family. Yeah. So I always grew up having the leadership role and having so much responsibilities at my hands. And I had a lot of expectations, like family expectations. And I had generational curses of family to break as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So starting out my entrepreneurship journey, I believe I was around 9 years old.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
I remember my mother used to pack for us some lunch and break when we were going to school. I was privileged to go through an education system that was very high-end. Unfortunately, my mom couldn't afford some other incentives. So she couldn't afford to give us, the luxurious pocket money and allowances. So it was more of munabebewa, packed food, munaenda, yeah. So I think that was when my concept of buying and selling started. Because I used to like what was being sold at the school canteen, but I couldn't afford to buy it. So what I used to do, I used to take my lunch box, my lunch items, and I used to sell it to my classmates. And it was home cooked meal.
Okay.
And they used to buy it from me, and they used to make money.
Oh, wow.
So I believe my first character in terms of entrepreneurship was sales.
Okay.
I realized I deployed sales at a very high speed, and I was really good at it. And I started monetizing from my own lunch, and kidogo kidogo I used to resell easy, like mabuyu, achari. My mom used to make for us like snacks to have around 4 p.m. at home. So mimi zangu, I used to just keep them aside. I keep them aside. I don't take. Zinafika around 10 or 20, I sell them at school. So I was really enjoying that. Like I told you, it's talent. Yeah. It's making money is a talent. So when I started developing a passion around that, and I grew. So my growth game started all those years ago. Then. Yeah. Okay. And then, so I believe that is my first step into entrepreneurship. And when I was finishing my university level, I never used to have the mindset of getting employed ever, because I used to see the way the youth in our generation, I'm born 92 by the way, so we are all 90s generation, I believe. Yes. And this is the only generation that has had the privilege of having the internet as well. So when I was growing up and I just finished my university level and stuff, so I asked myself, do I really want to get employed with all these things that are happening out there? People are just, like they're just not getting employed and struggling. Yeah. So I decided to, let me just start my own company. And anytime people used to ask me, okay, Sabrina, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself? That is a question I never used to really answer. I didn't have answers to that, but because I knew the vision. I knew the vision. I knew where I wanted to see myself. An independent serial entrepreneur, creating legend out there. But I didn't know the mechanism to get there. Okay. You understand? Yeah. So I really struggled a lot. There was a lot of void in terms of information, knowledge, or how to run a business and all that. Okay. So I started out with zero experience. I had no mentor. I had no money. I had no access to any economic opportunities on the ground. So I learned things the hard way. And I'm proud to say that I am where I am today because of the various failures I've experienced over the years. And that's why my passion for coaching and mentorship is really fundamental to supporting SMEs. Yeah, because 10, 15 years ago, I had no one to hold my hand and show me the direction on how I need to grow my business and eventually scale up, expand, even getting access to the various economic opportunities out there.
Oh, that is so amazing. I feel like you have mentioned who an entrepreneur should, or rather the characters that an entrepreneur should have. You talked about
in brief
passion, you talked about having a vision, you talked about so many things, and I really like that.
Thank you.
For me, also as I started my entrepreneurship journey, it wasn't easy. Having to come onto the PCL, the Precious Connection Limited, programs that you had was really exciting for me. I really got to learn a lot of stuff regarding finance, marketing, sales. It was just amazing and mind-blowing, and just the importance of also having to research what it is that you're doing before actually going full.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's a very big difference between being a business person, like a businessman or a businesswoman, or a business owner, and being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
There's a major
difference. A very big difference.
Please tell us. I see how people call themselves entrepreneurs in various social media platforms, or when you interact with someone, and then you ask them, what do you do? And they're like, I'm an entrepreneur. So I'm like, okay, so what kind of solutions have you solved?
Okay.
What kind of, like being an entrepreneur is basically, and in brief, solving a solution in a market.
Okay. Solving a problem.
Exactly. Sorry. Solving a problem and coming up with a solution, inventing an innovative solution so that you can be able to monetize from that. And an entrepreneur is someone who the idea of getting employed itself, it doesn't work well with them. They'd rather just look for another innovation for them to monetize, or they look for other revenue stream for them to monetize, but you'll never see them going out there for a 9-to-5 rat race.
So let me ask you, what made entrepreneurship so beautiful that employment didn't, you didn't gather that kind of beauty in employment?
I believe is the freedom.
It's the freedom.
Yes, it's the freedom of course, it comes with a lot of challenges, which I believe we'll discuss
we will.
later on. But I believe for me, it's the ability to tap into my innermost potential, discovering things that I never knew that I had, strengths, weaknesses, challenges. And I'm someone who really likes to take up challenges, you know? So I believe the freedom I have to explore and become more self-aware about the person that I am and the person I'm becoming is what makes me proud as to become an entrepreneur.
Wow.
And also, I have flexible time management. I get to choose who to work with and who not to work with.
Yes.
I don't get to report to anyone other than myself.
It's just you.
Yeah. And then I believe, the flexibility. It's all about the flexibility. And of course, like I said earlier, like tapping into your innermost potential and getting to know what it is that you can be able to offer.
Yes.
That is something for me is a turn on.
Yes. And you're not being put into a box the organizations put you like.
Thank you.
Yeah.
They limit you. It's not like I have anything against people who are employed out there. And like I said, it's entrepreneurship is not for everyone.
It's not
if
for
everyone
everyone
was meant to be an entrepreneur, I don't think if kuna watu watakuwa wanalipa kazi tena, everyone would be a millionaire. I believe, and it hurts me, by the way. It really hurts me when I see people with so much potential out there and they're not deploying or tapping into their most inner potential on becoming who they believe they can be. And they're just like, because they have fear of failure, fear, like they don't execute. They don't take action to do what they want to do, So they'll just be, mimi bwana niacheni hapa. I'm comfortable the way I am with my 9 to 5. I'm getting paid by the end of the month. I don't want to go out there and then I don't even know what I'm going to start hustling. So I believe it takes a lot of courage and a lot of, deploying a lot of self-awareness, knowing what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are. And, you just go along with that. I believe those are things that you really need.
I love that. Self-awareness.
Self-awareness is very important.
Very important.
People need to understand who they are, what they do, what they're good at, what they're not good at, so that when they decide to embark on their passion, it becomes very easy for them and to eventually find their purpose. Yeah.
So how did you come up with the idea of starting PCL or a business in general?
Like I said earlier, entrepreneurship has always been my DNA by default. And before I graduated, that was back in 2013. 2012 now was when I had this idea of starting my own business. So I started making inquiries. What do I need? What do I do? Like planning. It's all about planning.
Yes.
You already know where you want to go. The vision is where you want to go. It's the destination. But the mission now is the vehicle you're going to use to get there. You understand? So my mission was basically just sitting down and identifying what structures, what strategies, what do I need to put together to put my house in order so that I can get there. You see, let's say the destination is Mombasa. What do I need to do? Or what do I need to have to arrive in Mombasa? So there are so many means. Unaweza chukua bus, SGR, you know, all the, depending on what capacity you have.
Yes.
The capacity you have. So you use the resources, capacity and resources. So how well are you in establishing those resources, and how reliable are you to even execute on those resources?
Okay.
Which I believe, I like I mentioned earlier, I was not privileged enough to have those resources with me. And I started out my business, by the way, in Mombasa. My background is in Mombasa. I was born and bred in Mombasa. I'm a proud Mombasa girl. I'm an island girl.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was really struggling that time, and 2013 was the beginning of the devolution, you know, like the county government and stuff. So there was a lot of not chaos, but businesses were not doing very well in Mombasa. Most people were shifting. They were moving from Mombasa, coming to Nairobi, moving out of town, moving to other countries. So it's like the system rejected.
Okay.
And I'm not happy to say that I started my business at the right time, but it was not the right time for me to start my business. So you can understand the backlash I had. And I can't say like I had full support of my family per se. You know, when you just wake up one day and you decide I don't want to get employed and I just want to do my own thing. And especially after having a lot of calling letters from high-end corporate companies who wanted to employ me, to give me a job opportunity, my family was like, "You're crazy."
For not taking it.
I remember the regional manager of Zuku, the now Zuku Wananchi group of companies, really liked the way I was doing things, and we had an interaction once, like a couple of weeks before he poached me.
Okay.
And then he told me, "Sabrina, you would really make a really good marketing manager, like in Mombasa."
Yes.
And remember, Apo, I didn't have any responsibilities. Your starting salary will be 160,000. And me, I was like, okay, this is really good money. I'm hustling. I don't have anything. But then I was like, no, I don't want to get employed. I hid my letter. You can imagine the look on my mom's face. Yeah, so it was really difficult. And mind you, I had no income, zero income. Guess what I was doing? I leased a shamba somewhere around Mtwapa. I put a greenhouse and started farming.
Wow.
Tomatoes. Zenye ilikuwa na supply around hotels, and even some I got into B2B. Now, you see, I learned all these things the hard way. I didn't know I was doing things, baadaye naja kujua kumbe inaitwa B2B, business to business. You know, like nikaona hii stories za B2C, business to customer, it's time consuming. How about I just go directly to them? You see, they're now Beyond Fruits. Before it became Beyond Fruits, wanaitwa Ganesh. I forgot the name. I used to go there and sell them the tomatoes.
Wow.
And I remember speaking to one of the managers there, and they told me the vision they had about Beyond Fruits. And now we're seeing Beyond Fruits everywhere.
Yeah.
They have all their satellites.
Literally.
And I remember having this discussion with them, and I was actually supplying them tomatoes and other vegetables. Yeah. So that was my first B2B.
Okay.
And then I had an idea. Okay, so if I can do with Ganesh, you know, like the before Beyond Fruits. What can I do next? So I started reaching out to ship chandlers. Being Mombasa, there's a port, there are export companies as well. So I went to Mombasa ship chandlers. I had an opportunity to speak to the owner. I was that privileged also and lucky. So I talked to him and I told him, I remember very well, his name was Muhammad. And I was telling him, Bwana, I have this product and I would really like it if you bought it from me. And just, you know, the guts. I was very daring. So he told me, okay, first he was surprised to see a young woman here walking into his office and, you know, like pitching for a product. And then was like, okay, I'll give you an opportunity because you're a woman. So it was more of sympathy, I guess.
Because you're a woman.
Yeah. So, and I met his expectations. In fact, I exceeded his expectations.
Wow. Okay.
Because he told me, you can't be able to meet my demand. Mine is for export. Can you be able to deliver 2 tons, let's say, every week? And my capacity I could not meet that demand, honestly speaking.
Okay. So how did you go about it?
I started sourcing. That's why now you understand sourcing and partnering with other people out there.
Okay.
So I had to look for people, community of people who are already in that market. Yeah. And I decided to partner with them. So I used to outsource some of those products from them at a less fee, or sometimes they were giving me on credit.
Okay.
And then I was supplying it to him.
Wow.
And it was really, really amazing. It was very lucrative. Okay, friends, family, Sabrina nauzanga tomato, but it's okay for me. I was running and understanding the market.
Yes.
Slowly and gradually, I started growing. And then later on, I decided to embark in IT. IT is everything.
Okay.
You have to have business in technology one way or the other. So I reached out to various friends who are already in the market. You see, I want you to understand the pattern behind here. You just don't go into a business. You have to understand what business you're doing.
Exactly.
Understand the business, understand the scope, understand the target market, understand the niche market before you decide, okay, this is the business I want to embark on.
Okay.
So I found the IT industry to be very lucrative back then. That was around 2014, early 2014. Like, people were importing. Okay, there were not many players in the market bringing ex-UK machines. So I felt like there's a niche market here, and I have sources. Like me, kwenye research, alhamdulillah, I have Allah to it is out of Allah's mercy. I can't deny that.
Okay.
So I started sourcing. And I partnered with someone around Luthuli Avenue here in Nairobi. One of my first business partners. You know, like, he's my first business partner. First kabisa. So I was like, okay, so this is what I want to do. And I find I'm very passionate about this thing, but I don't have access to market. I have access of the source.
Yes.
And perhaps finance to bring in the stuff. But wajua wewe uko kwa ground, uko hapo Luthuli, and Luthuli is the center of electronics and everything. Okay. So perhaps we can partner. You see, now this is combining forces. Where my strength was, he didn't have that strength. Where his strength was, I didn't have that strength.
You didn't have it. Okay.
You understand? Yeah. So we combined our resources. And this is something people don't like doing. I don't know why. People fear competition. Me, I am more of someone who likes to collaborate. Yeah. So we collaborated with my friend. His name is Ben. So we did our first shipment. I brought in my first container of IT accessories, laptops, TFTs, and it was so amazing. Like,
I'm just wondering, how are you able to fund this shipment? Was it from what you were doing earlier, the export?
I had my savings, okay. And also after my family seeing how serious I am, you guys, Sabrina is very serious. She's going into entrepreneurship like 100%. She wants nothing to do with getting employed, and she's really good at it because it's 2-3 years down the line and she's doing very well. Okay. So how can we support? All of a sudden, my family became my first investors.
Wow.
Yeah, you see, when you're sourcing for funding, there's so many avenues where you can get finances. Most of the time, people think you just have to walk into a bank, get a loan, or maybe, me, I usually tell people, remember when you can start with your friends and family, your most immediate friends and family, who can someone who can actually support you, someone who can give you, let's say, 500,000 Kenyan shillings, that is, and they can go home and sleep peacefully. Okay. So look for a support system. Okay. Support system can be both friends, family, colleagues, mentors who can support you before you walk into any investor or any bank. If these people can be able to raise at least 50% of what you need, start with that. Start somewhere. Start small, then grow yourself. Okay. So ikiwa hapo imedunda, it doesn't work out, then I can advise you to walk into an investing firm. Like, you can have venture capitalists, you can have equity ventures, like investors. Yeah, so you just look at what works for your business and your business nature and your model. There's so many avenues around that. Okay. And what works for you and what makes you comfortable, you get funding. You go for it. And then my least priority, let me put it that way, is walking into a bank. Okay. I'm not, disclaimer, I'm not discouraging anyone to walk into a bank, but you have a good relationship with your bank, you can go ahead, but start with your friends and family before you walk into a bank. And of course, if you present your numbers well, and if you show you have your proposals ready and your business plan, of course, business plan is very important because it shows at least a roadmap, your business canvas, like what you're planning to do, your focus, financial focus, your financial projections. And if the numbers make sense, of course, there are some banks who can actually be able to support that.
That's amazing.
Yes. So my family really supported me financially. Okay. I had my few savings, and then I think I had like 20% of what I needed only. And then they supported me with the other 80%. Okay. Alhamdulillah, I can't complain. God bless them. Yeah.
Oh, that is amazing. Yeah. So you also mentioned that you have partnered with Absa.
Yes, that was now later. Yeah, after my me selling accessories kidogo nikaingilia tender games
hadi like accessories.
Yeah, okay, because I had the sources.
Okay.
So automatically I got tempted to apply for specific tenders.
Okay.
And I'll be very honest with you, after 3 years of consistent applying for tenders, over 70 something tenders application I've had.
Wow.
I finally won one only.
That's a good one.
So I can't say I started applying for tenders today and the next day I started winning tenders. No, it took a lot of patience, dedication, and of course the consistency. Yeah, those are, I consider tenders as one of my side hustles.
Okay.
The company's side hustles, and and that's how I also got you have to understand my growth came.
Okay.
To know where I am today. Remember nilianza na tomato, computer accessories, vitu mingi, you know, like creating multiple revenue streams, surviving. And then I moved to Nairobi, by the way. After your biashara ya computers, my friend Ben now suggested, Sabrina, so come to Nairobi. Huko Mombasa biashara ni mbaya. Why are you still sticking around? I took a risk.
And you came to Nairobi.
I know no one in Nairobi. I know nothing in Nairobi. I moved in within 24 hours. I found myself a 1-bedroom apartment. Moved in. I had no mattress. I remember calling one of my friends who was already living in Nairobi and was like, Mimi, sina hata godoro ya kulalia. And then he was telling me, you know what? Mimi kuna zile mattress, zile za camping, zile unaiflate na air. Will that make you comfortable? I'm like, okay. No, hii baridi ya Nairobi. I didn't have. I remember spending my first cold night in Nairobi kwa tiles, and it was so cold.
Goodness.
I was like, I have to be rich in
this
city.
You have to.
Nalala hapa kwa nini? No, I have to make it. Yeah, I remember every time I have challenges. You know, sometimes you feel like giving up. You feel like life is just too hard for you. Kuna hizo challenges unapata. I remember that cold night in Nairobi. Why am I here now?
Why are you here?
Why am I here? And then that motivates me.
And then the survival instinct in you just kicks in.
Exactly.
Wow. So you have talked about identifying and evaluating your opportunities that you got.
Yes, alhamdulillah. So through that also, I managed to join business membership organization like the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, which is one of the biggest BMOs in the country. It's internationally recognized, and it has given me so much exposure now to the corporate space. Okay. When I joined membership with KNCCI 2019, it was around early 2019, that's when I got so much networking opportunities. You know, like all the big names are there. Yeah. And mimi nika small fish, swimming in the big fish.
Swimming in the big
I can
boys.
tell you, my strength is my confidence.
Okay.
Like I can walk into a room not thinking everyone is lower than me. I just believe everyone is equal to me, and I just do the best thing. Yeah. I just be my best version, the best version of myself. I introduce myself, I network. And through this, it caught a lot of attention of my seniors and people who have been in the game for so long. So automatically, it gives me some unique advantages and privileges. Okay. My confidence, that is. Okay. And I got the opportunity to sit down with high-end profile people and used to share my ideas, used to share my concepts. I have this, I'm doing this, I would like this, and they used to guide me. Now sasa hapo nikaanza pata mentorship kidogo, like people guiding me. Okay, sasa shikilia hivi, you know, like I grew more. Okay, you know, I grew more because I was in the space with the right people, with the right network. I was at the right time now. And through that nikapatana sasa na Absa. I was invited actually when Absa transitioned for Barclays Bank. I was invited for that transition. It was around 2020 before COVID hit the country. They invited me to one of the events, and I had the opportunity to network with the executive business directors and even the managing director himself, Jeremy himself. So I exchanged cards. And then I just dropped an email, just like an introduction. This is who I am. I would like an audience with you. And then, of course, the pandemic happened. It took time to respond. And then I had the idea of, you know, I have so much empathy within myself. And for you to also become a successful entrepreneur, you have to deploy a lot of empathy. Because that is what connects you with people. It gives you a personal touch, and people trust you. They trust your product. There's that authenticity aspect of it. And it helps you also grow, and it gives you leverage actually. So by deploying empathy, I had the opportunity to sit down with Elizabeth Wasuna, who happens to be the executive director, business banking. And I gave her an idea like, okay, this is what I want to do. I'm so passionate about coaching. And I told her my journey, like this is how I've been struggling. And I believe sahi wakati wa hii pandemic, there are so many people even struggling even more.
Yeah.
So I would like
That's
to
true.
start a program to support at least SMEs and MSMEs generally, so that they can be able to have the right tools and roadmaps on how they can survive, like how they can reinvent and even, like reinvention in their business. So he told me, okay, Sabrina, you have my full support. Just write for me a proposal and then tell me how we can support you. Like that. So I drafted a proposal explaining what I want to do, my purpose and objectives and everything. When I shared with them, they gave me their full support. They used to come. So after 3-4 events that they attended, the sessions, the sessions I was doing, they asked me how can they sponsor. So they sponsored me. They sponsored me for those events. And it was so amazing.
The events that you used to host?
Yeah. You remember they used to come, ABSA representatives.
That's true.
So it also caught attention from media. And that's how I got featured into the various articles that you guys used to see, the newspapers and all that. And I felt it was also still not enough because the people who used to come were very few. Because of COVID protocols, the spacing numbers. So we could only take 20 people every week, and we had a team who were doing monitoring evaluation, and I had to start a YouTube channel so that those who cannot come there can be able to hear the message. Yes. And then it was running so smoothly, and 1 year down the line we had to stop it for our own internal reasons, because we had to keep track of how these people were doing, how they were progressing, giving them various access to economic opportunities. And so many people were very successul out of that program. I believe I've had testimonials. I shared with you the testimonials.
Yes, you did.
You're a testimonial
I'm
yourself.
a testimonial myself. And I already mentioned earlier that I
you're
learned
a testimonial
so much
yourself. You're
from
rocking
the
testimonial.
programs.
Brand ambassador, Wilma. She's been to my programs she's seen how amazing my programs are, how supportive they were to the business community.
Exactly.
And through that, I believe it gave me it opened more doors for me. Like now sitting in various advisory boards, like one I told you, the Strathmore Business Development Centers.
Congratulations,
really
by the way.
I'm
Do you get
with
to pat yourself on the back?
I always pat myself
Sabrina,
in the back.
Yay.
I also deploy self-love, my dear. Alhamdulillah.
Self-love is a must. So Sabrina, you've talked about how you were able to plan for your programs, the people that you had to meet, to network, to gather the resources that you needed. Sasa tuambie pale kwenye kulaunch programs zako ama kulaunch your services, how are you able to do that?
Okay. Regarding how I did it, I was so disorganized at first. I'll be very honest. When I was starting my business years back. But what I can share with the many people who are listening here today through my experience, it just starts with an idea. Once you have the idea, money comes. Have the idea. For example, I want to start a podcast, right?
Yeah.
Why do you want to start a podcast? Do you have passion for it?
Love it.
Or are you doing it because every other Kenyan is doing it now? It's the in thing. Like the way entrepreneurship, it's the in thing. It's the new cool thing.
Yeah.
And that's why everyone is just getting into it. And without knowing what they're doing, that's why we see so many people disorganized out there.
Yeah.
So what I can say, it should start with an idea for the passion, for a passion that you have burning inside you, your why. You remember the why?
Yeah, your why.
And then once you have an idea, sit down with your business canva. Okay, have this idea of a podcast business. I would like to, this is what I want to do. You identify what you want to talk about in the podcast.
Right.
Am I going to talk about business? Am I going to talk about food? Am I going to talk, there's so many topics.
Yeah.
So find your niche.
Okay.
When I talk about niche, is really a speciality and the specific target market you've identified. You've identified your target market. Me target market yangu, I want to reach out to the youth. Or me, I want to reach out to the retirees. Because I want to give them a retirement plan idea on how they can survive in their old age. I'm just giving an example. Or I want to reach out to like I said earlier, the youth, because the youth, they need some sort of inspiration. My target is the women, So identify your target. And now, once you've identified your target, now identify your niche. I've identified the youth. hawa ni youth nimepata demography ya Kenya ama Nairobi or whatever demography you've decided to reach out. What am I going to talk about? There's so many topics. There's topics around mental health. There's topic around business. There's topic about, like sports. There's so many topics Fashion. You can talk about. So identify. Maybe kama na biashara. No, that's my niche. Okay. You've already identified your target. That's a plan. Yeah. You're listing it down. And then you write now your objectives. List down your objectives. Why do you want to do it? What's your purpose? All that kind of thing. What's your mission? What's your vision? Like a complete business plan. There's so many business plans you can download from the internet, from Pinterest, from whatnots. You can have them. It doesn't need to be picture perfect. It just needs to be something that you can understand. Yeah. Put it down. Then later on, maybe you can find someone who's good at writing. Si lazima kila kitu fanya mwenyewe. That's why it's important to partner with people who know what they're doing, their expertise. If you know you're not good in proposal writing like myself, I'm not a know-it-all. I sit down with someone who's an expert in that, even if I'm going to pay a fee. You understand? Maybe I know my numbers, but for example, when it comes to my business, I know my numbers, but I can't be an accountant. I can't be my own auditor.
That's true.
You understand? I can't do that. So that's why it's important to work with the right team.
Okay.
You can't do everything. There are things that you're good at and the things you're not good at.
Wow.
So sit down with someone who's good at writing a business plan. If in an event, maybe you found an investor who would like to see what you have planned out, then have that person draft it down for you. So you have your business plan ready. You have a financial projection. You've already identified for me to start a podcast. I need maybe 100,000 shillings to buy the equipment, to have a setup, stuff like that. I need to have to run my social media accounts. Yeah. So we mwenye ushajipanga between 100 to 200,000 inanitosha, So once you have that, what's the next step? Okay. You're operating in a country where business needs to be registered.
Yeah.
You can't operate informally. For growth, you have to be formalized. And this is something a lot of people hate it because in fear of running away from KRA. KRA will always catch up with you. Hii mentality ya KRA, nini. KRA sasa umeingia social media.
Nakwambia.
You understand? Na kuna wenye tunaonesha gari every week. They have their eyes on you. They won't harass you now, but tuendelea kupiga mdomo tu huko na tuonesha bill zako na nini, but they'll catch up with you.
Okay.
Now, this fear and notion of KRA, people have to leave it. You have to operate formally for you to grow also, for your own growth.
Yeah.
Yes, I understand there are so many licenses required, especially for someone who wants to start a restaurant business. Over 17 licenses.
Okay.
And I believe with the next incoming elections that we're having this year as Kenyans, the policy makers can consider talking to various the county governments and stuff to reduce these licenses for businesses so that we can operate.
That's demotivating.
Exactly. Kindly consider registering the business so that you operate formally. Okay. You can even start with just ile not single business permit but ile sole proprietorship. You don't need to go limited company. Hata mimi sikwanza huko limited. I incorporated my company in 2017 but nilianza as partnership back in 2013.
Okay.
You understand? Start small. As you grow, as we speak right now, my growth game, like I said, it's so strong.
Wow.
I am being forced now to own a group of companies.
Wow.
To transition completely. They can't all operate under one company. I have to open subsidiaries.
Okay.
So that they can start. You understand? So it's whether I like it or not, it's forcing me to grow.
You
understand? And if it's forcing me to grow, that means I have to reformalize. Either have a shareholding company, either have, kitu kama hiyo. I can't remain being hapo chini tu. You are forced sometimes because you're growth game, but just grow the right way. Register your business however small you can. Once you've registered your business, look at the various licenses that is required. Look for a venue. Lakini if, for example, it's another product, it's the same pattern. Just register your business. Once you've registered your business, probably have a website because right now you need to have an online presence. Umeona? Online presence, have maybe social media handles, have a website, have all those. Kama una podcast station pia fanya. The more you reach out to so many people, the better. Umeona? So having an online presence is very important. Join membership with these various BMOs that are out there. We have Kina Kepsa, we have Kina KNCCI. We have so many BMOs out there. You have chamas, we have groups, So just join a community, form a community. Even if there's no community, there's no seat at the table for you with whatever idea you've come up with. Form your own table. Create your own table so that people can come and sit in your table. You understand? So just create a community of both the people who are in the same sector as you, and even the people you wish to offer your services and solutions and products to. So once you've had that, please don't focus on advertising and monetizing from there. Create value. You watch YouTube.
I do.
Sindio?
Yeah.
YouTube wakituleta zile ads zao. What do we do next? We just skip, right? Because it's like we automatically know they're advertising something.
Yeah.
Now, whether you are interested to just watch the next video or whatever.
Yeah.
So advertisement, you can advertise your product smartly by creating value. Educate me in how I can use this air conditioner. Just write something around. Unajua na hii joto sahi ya Nairobi, you know. Tuna sweatingi sana, na tukisweat tuna dehydrate, tunakunywanga maji, lakini sengine pia kunywanga maji watu wengine hatupendi. No, imagine having an AC in your office. Even itakupumbaza.
Cool down.
I'm seeing the value of the AC. I'm just giving an example. And I'm like, lakini yenyewe, I was triggered once. There are people who are good at that. And it's unfortunate that most of the people I've come across, they're not really good at that. They just post to sell.
They're advertising.
Exactly. Just create value. There was a guy I saw on TikTok once. Akawa anauza, there's a pocket, like a pocket sticker, which you stick on a car windscreen, which you can put your insurance. Ile insurance sticker, instead of sticking it there, it's a pocket sticker. You just put it, it's flexible. Inaweza toka na kurudi, alafu unaingiza tu hapo ndani, unaweza ukaitoa ukatia nyingine. You understand? To me, that this guy is offering a solution, because mimi mwenye personally I have like insurance stickers za miaka 3 zilizopita kwa gari. Siwezi toa juu naona itaharibu my tint. I'm just giving an example, yeah? But this guy has come up with a solution. It's a need. There's a need. You understand? Nikikat sticker tu nakabandika hapo ka pocket, kama inaka kama ka pocket kwa windscreen. Na inaka so sophisticated. And then unaitumia insurance yako na slide tu hapo inaka hapo. And it was just like 500 shillings or something. And it's like, you know, that is a solution to me. And then he showed me how it's supposed to be used. Hata people were inquiring how much. Because we saw the value. Yeah. I'm just giving an example. These are the kind of things I always talk about. Focus on creating value. If you want me to buy a bottle of water from you, show me how valuable this water it is for me to buy from you. Kuliko ninunue kwa wengine. We have so many waters now. I see so many, but sometimes I'm so confused. But if I'm buying water, I want to see how this water is going to quench my thirst.
Yes.
Not the brand.
Sabrina, tell us, so what value is it that a new entrepreneur will find when coming to join your program?
I believe the value that I offer as an entrepreneur to my clients.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, other than the various economic opportunities we can access you with because of the many networks that we established, we are family.
Okay.
We work with you from beginning to end. For example, we are going through a coaching session with us.
Okay.
We become your accountability partner. Literally. There's several follow-ups we do. And through those follow-ups, in an event, we realize like things are not going the way they are. We help you go back to the drawing board. This is something very rare because most of the training companies out here, not to trash them or anything. Once they're done with you, they've taken your money, they're done with you, whether your business succeeds or not. But we work with you.
And
I think that might be a good thing. It might be a bad thing. But we literally get emotionally invested in you as a person and even in your growth. There's that consistency.
Okay.
There's that aspect of being involved. We indulge and we help you harness these opportunities as an individual. So we literally get involved in your growth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we hold your hand.
And I like the fact that you also have mentor wellness programs within.
Oh, you attended our
It's
mental.
so amazing.
Yeah. So I
Entrepreneurs.
think
This is it.
Thank you for mentioning about mental wellness. The reason why I even decided to start mental wellness, which is one of the very few things that people don't know about me. I suffer from mental health challenges. I was diagnosed with bipolar syndrome a couple of years ago, and it's unfortunate that sometimes I can get very suicidal. And for you to become a successful entrepreneur, also mental health, you need to be mentally strong.
That's right.
Because business is a battle,
so
my friend. And being bipolar, you can imagine how it has been very challenging for me. You know, like the highs and the lows. Yeah. So
many
I was diagnosed with PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder. I was diagnosed with childhood traumas. I had a really hard time, and we used to live in a society, I believe sai kidogo watu tumebadilisha your mindset. People never believed in therapy. People never believed mental health is a taboo, you know. So I had a really difficult childhood growing up, and even during my adult years, I really had a struggle with depression and so many things. And this doesn't stop one from achieving their dreams or goals. I know there are so many people out there battling depression. They're going through divorce, probably. They've lost a loved one. They've lost their jobs. They've lost so much. What I can say, yes, it's true, and it is okay not to be okay. And the most important thing is to have faith in yourself, to believe in yourself. If you wait for someone else to believe in you, my dear, you will wait forever. Just if there's anyone who can help you pick yourself up, is you yourself. And of course, the Almighty God. You have to have a sense of spiritual faith, I believe, from my perspective. We all have something that we believe in. Once you have that spiritual belief, automatically you start having deep self-belief within yourself. You just have self-belief automatically. And once you have self-belief, it is easier for you to find your purpose in life. And when you identify your purpose in life, you work your life goals towards that purpose in life. So that's how it is. And so like I said earlier, I'm proud to say that I do suffer from mental health. I'm not a perfect structure. By the end of the day, I'm still a human being. Yes, I've achieved so many titles in my life, and I've had so many achievements, alhamdulillah, and it is out of Allah's mercy. But I can't pretend that I'm a perfect structure. I do suffer from mental health. I do have my flaws as a human being, and I'm happy that I become self-aware, and I'm happy to be where I am today. Yeah, that's so. And another thing, most people don't know about me, I'm a mother of 3. Yes. And my kids, out of all the things that I'm most proud of about myself, none of them beats me being a mother. None of them. My kids are my inspiration. Wow. Believe me. Wow. They inspire me. Yeah. They teach me patience. They teach me tolerance. They teach me so much about myself that I never knew I had. And I really learn a lot from my kids, to be honest. Yeah. And they're my biggest inspiration. Every time I want to do something, I just look at them and I feel like, okay, these are I'm doing this. Yeah, I am creating a legacy, and I'm creating an empire for them. So alhamdulillah, I'm a mother of 3.
Wow. So as we wrap up,
yes,
tell us some of the challenges you faced while in your entrepreneurship journey and how you overcame, and we can close on that.
Definitely. In brief, I think lack of support. There's so much uncertainty. It's like walking on eggshells.
I know, right?
So I believe I didn't have the support that I needed initially. Which I have to thank also. I have to thank them, because once they saw I delivered in a short period, they all decided to support me. That is something most people do now. And I think another challenge is work-life balance. And because of my bipolar extremes, I become an extreme workaholic, or I become extremely just very low. Like, for example, the whole of last year, I was battling mental health. I was really, really low.
Okay.
I wasn't appearing much in events. I wasn't doing much. And it's also part of the things that made me also stop my QLP programs.
Okay.
I was going through some mental health challenges.
Okay.
Something very personal. Something happened with my family. We lost loved ones and stuff. So I could not function. I couldn't function mentally. And usually when I go through such kind of traumatic events, I get triggered, I get suicidal thoughts. So I'd rather just take a pause from my business. And
it's
everything.
not bad.
And I can't say when I take a pause from my business doesn't run. My business runs whether I'm there when I'm not there.
Or not.
I've managed to create systems and structures to automate my businesses. So whether I'm there, I'm not there, I still make money as I sleep.
Okay.
Yeah, so but ile practically mimi mwenyewe kwa ground, I was just always at home, on my bed, depressing and self-isolating, self-sabotaging, which I believe most of us have.
Yeah.
And I go for therapy. I get help, alhamdulillah. I get help. Of course, I have a spiritual connection. I like considering myself as a practical Muslim. I practice my faith to the best of my capacity, to the best of my abilities. And through that faith and fear of my creator, I believe having... So kidogo pia nilikuwa napata challenges kadhaa, but I can say lack of managing my finances well was also a challenge, because I had so much money with me and I didn't know how to allocate it, like reinvest in it. So I was losing out, following up on payments. So I can say one of my biggest challenge was financial management. That's why I'm very passionate on financial literacy.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes.
Financial literacy is very important for... Yeah, so I believe that was one of my biggest challenges. And I wasn't a know-it-all, but I was a one-man show, especially when it comes to money. I wanted to manage my own money, inavyotakikaniwa. Like I was very sensitive and careful. But then I was like, no, Sabrina, you can't do everything. You have to look for someone to manage your finances the way it's supposed to be. Me, I had the challenge of also not knowing how to separate myself from my business. It's most people do, yeah. So just hire someone who's going invest in that, my dear. Invest in that. Invest in people. Invest in yourself, so that you can be able to grow. So I found someone who would be an expert who can be able to manage all my personal finances and also my business finances, and I've never regretted. In fact, by doing that, I felt I was going to lose money. I can't lie, sijui it was lack of exposure, my lack of me, I had most of the things right from the word go, because I did my research. I approached the right people to advise me, like finding mentors, people already in the game, to guide you, to teach you. I reached out to these people, and I think, like I said, it's the confidence nature in me. Lakini hiyo kumanage hizo finances ndo nilikuja nikajipata mali ingine siko sawa. But alhamdulillah, through accepting that I needed help and getting that help, I've never regretted. And this is something yours can not be finances kama mimi, but pengine labda wewe ni access to market ama access to
human resource,
team,
right people.
Having the right people to work with. I believe I have a very good team. And I really empower my team. I really inspire them a lot, and they inspire me too. Leadership is not about ranking. It's about how are we going to rise those who are around us. Like how are we going to inspire those who are around us to reach at the same level as you are. That's how I see it. And and they know that. And when I do that, they really have so much faith in me, so much so much passion. We work to manage my team. I'm a great team leader. I consider myself a great team leader. And so I hope there's some things you've learned.
I've learned so much. And one last thing, I just remembered a friend of mine asked me yesterday, because I told her I'm gonna be having a session with you, and they're like, oh, so
excited.
They wanted me to ask you, when is it the right time for you to just decide, I want to sell my business, or I want to close down this business? Because there are times as an entrepreneur, maybe you got into a business that, yes, we followed every step. You generated ideas, we got the opportunities, we planned and launched, we are growing who you are right now, or you don't want to be involved in the business. So is it okay to actually just decide, or when is it the right time for you to decide, okay, I can sell my business, I can close down the business? Yeah, an exit plan.
Exit plan depends with your purpose,
okay,
and your goal as an entrepreneur. I can give an example of Safe Border. You remember Safe Border?
Yes.
Safe Border, those people, they were in the market. They really dominated the market industry.
They did for a while.
Yeah, sorry, Border. But where are they now? They were offered by Uber billions of shillings to sell their company. But they were like, no, Nini.
Yeah, you're going to run.
But something somewhere happened.
Yeah.
You know, if you have a good product and it's bringing you good money and someone wants to buy your share, they want to buy you out, just consider options. Sit down with a consultant. Research. Ask an investment consultant to advise you. Don't make the decision alone. Alafu look at the numbers. Pia angalia, does it make sense mimi niki exit tu, ama you have a purpose for that. Kama mimi, for example, mimi with Precious Connections, I've had so many offers. People want not to buy me out, they even want shares to pay 5%, 10%. I'm a 100% owner of the company. I'm a beneficial owner.
Wow.
And I've not considered selling this business to anyone for now. Not like I haven't had any opportunities, any offers. But I have a purpose for this business. But I can't say opportunity in my door, in offer billions of shillings, ati sitaki. It's just a matter of selling it, giving it to them, and starting something of my own. Because this is something I'm good at. It's something I know what I'm doing. It's just identifying something that I'm going to, like I said, offer a solution in a market that there's a need, and going for it. I believe the opportunities are so many. It's just identifying what you have to do and just doing it. Of course, having a startup, there are quite some challenges along the way, but if you have experience and you have the right networks and the right resources, it becomes easier for you to start off something. Amepawa ofa mzuri. And it's not hindering your goals. You know, like, go for it.
Go for it.
If not,
don't be shy.
Just sit down with the experts, because you understand your business.
Yes.
You understand the vision you have for that business. And if the business is doing so well, it's just a matter of identifying the right exit plan.
Okay.
Yes.
Identifying the right exit plan. Yeah. Thank you, Sabrina Ejore. Any last words for our people, our listeners? I'm sure they really are going to like this episode.
Yeah, what I can say is just it is now or never. It is now or never. Life is too short. You feel like you have what it takes to become an entrepreneur. Just understand it needs a lot of perseverance. It needs a lot of patience, dedication, hard work. We understand. Deploy a lot of empathy and do it now.
Yes.
Don't wait. I fear and it fail money. Just do it now. There's the power of now and the power of self-awareness and self-belief. Just go for it. If someone like Sabrina Ejore could do it, I believe anyone else can do it.
Yes. In the words of Sabrina Ejore, serial entrepreneur, believe, begin, and become. Thank you so much. So we are wrapping up with season 1 for Alive. So we are entering season 2 by maybe next month. Let me not spill a lot of tea, but thank you so much. I've been your host, Wilma Mwangi, with my guest, Sabrina Ejore. Peace out.